And your mind is not your own. Lonely is the night when there's no one left to call. You feel the time is right. Say the writing's on the wall. Yeah. It's a
This is In the Know for Friday, May 29, the 150th day of 2020. There are 216 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app, using the SoundCloud or iTunes podcast, on Facebook Watch, on YouTube, live on Periscope, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, the country. We get you set for a beautiful weekend. The weather's going to be great. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Well, I feel like my hair has been on fire since about 6:22 this morning.
You have, we won't get into the details of that. You have a desire to swim with sharks.
Absolutely.
And you know a little bit about cows, correct?
Oh, yeah.
What animal kills more people each year, cows or sharks?
I'm going to go with cows.
You're correct. Sharks account for 53 bites a year. Only one of those end up being fatal. Cows, on the other hand, kill around 20 people a year.
Do we know how?
No, but I'm very anxious to know, like, why that is.
Yeah, I need more information.
Maybe it was a cow tipping
Like
incident.
a stampede.
It was a cow tipping incident as part of some type of prank. She's the pride of Pumpkin Center, the heiress to the great mini burger fortune. She's Vera Wang's arch nemesis and the professional bargain hunter's woman of the year. She's Misty Embry Thomas. Hey, here we go.
Holy Ghost, Big Bang Theory, Big Bang Theory, Pentecostal, Fire and Brimstone, Mission Temple Fireworks Stand.
How's Misty?
I'm really happy it's Friday.
Amen.
You perked up in a hurry. You over there yawning before the show. You were.
Take
and
me
then-
to church.
I was
It
gonna
wakes me
say,
up.
You get a little pop off the music there, and all of a
Yes,
sudden
little more.
you're ready to go. What? You told me you got your 5:30s mixed up.
So you don't want to tell her story, but you want to tell mine. Why you put out me?
No, I thought yours was a sweet story. I mean, I thought it was.
Sweet, yeah. It's
She and I
sweet when you don't
talked
get
this
to work
morning.
on time.
Yeah.
Well,
I laid down yesterday at 5.
yeah.
I was really tired all of a sudden. I was like, I'm just going to lay down for a minute. And when I woke up, it was 5:30 and it was daylight. The only odd thing was my cat, I didn't tell you this part, my cat was on my nightstand pawing at me, which means she needs food because I feed her at night early. But my husband was in bed asleep, and I thought, what are you doing in bed at 5:30?
Yeah.
And then I began to come to myself and realized I had slept 12 and a half hours, almost 13 hours.
Listen, it's good sleep, right?
Listen, and here's one of the reasons that I said this time of year, easy to mix up your 5:30s.
Yes.
Because this morning I opened my eyes and it was daylight outside. So I started thinking, I wonder what time it is. It's probably almost 6 o'clock. And then I glanced and it was 5:28. So, but I could tell it was like it's almost wake up time because it's daylight, because you know how much I hate
Yeah.
waking up in
So
the
you got
dark.
up before me.
So the fact that then you were, you opened your eyes at 5:30 and it was daylight and you thought it was a half hour later, and
Yeah,
really
it was 12 and a half hours later.
You missed it by
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
much.
So y'all think this is a Corona pony. No, this is, I don't know my 5:30s ponytail.
You were bragging the other day that you can finally put your hair in a ponytail.
Yeah,
and
but
so
it's
I,
not
that's
cute
what-
because it's just
that's-
this long, right?
No, it is cute.
But it's,
No.
But yeah, so you came in this morning, you were like rocking the pony, and I'm like, no, dude,
Just-
5:30
Just
issue.
to show you can.
5:30 issues.
Going to be a beautiful weekend. Scattered thunderstorms later today. Beautiful weekend ahead. There is a risk for a few cells to contain some wind gusts of over 50 miles an hour this afternoon. But once we can get through this afternoon and evening, by the way, highs in the 80s. Tomorrow will be highs in the 70s under partly sunny skies and lows in the 50s to 60s. It's going to be beautiful this weekend, and it's going to continue through Monday. So
Did I sleep
Saturday,
through some
Sunday,
storms last night?
Monday.
I think I did.
Yesterday afternoon, it might have
Well, I was
been
asleep yesterday
more like
afternoon.
4 o'clock, right before certain areas, and then
Well, there was a tree down around the courthouse on the public square this morning.
there was a weird.
So it was like I got up going, it's a whole new world.
There
What's
was a weird stray thunder shower that took off from that made its way through Bear Creek, like
Okay.
through Meredith, then through Bear Creek and
Okay.
north. That could have clipped the square yesterday afternoon. So it's certainly
All right.
possible.
Yeah, huge. I mean, like half the tree. Did you see it, or they already have it cleaned up when you came
Must
through?
have been
I don't go that
Johnny
way,
on the
so-
spot because I didn't.
Yeah.
I did not see it. Continuing to see some of the video, things getting worse in Minneapolis. National Guard called in to. There was a police station that was torched. Businesses continue to be burnt and looted. A lot of people asking questions. Looting. How does looting send the message about the protest and those things? And I heard Gayle King say this morning. She interviewed a young woman who said, "In your day, you could just protest peacefully and do these things. This is the only way that people here now is through looting." And I said, "No, that's not." She disagreed, and as did I. Like, it only makes it worse. And then it was tense in Louisville last night. I flipped over like about 10 o'clock and was like, okay, well, what's on the evening news? And I see live coverage all over downtown Louisville, 6th and Jefferson in that area. 7 people were shot last night in Louisville. It was all civilian to civilian shooting. The King Louis XVI statue had his arm ripped off, and they were carrying it through town. That was in protest of Breonna Taylor. That situation that happened in March, and the LMPD Chief Steve Conrad, said he would be stepping down. But that situation in Louisville is a direct result of the rioting in Minneapolis, and so. Violence begets violence. You see and so there were people using picnic tables as barricades to hide behind in Louisville last night. The spray painting thing, "You can't kill us all," and it's just. I gotta give a lot of credit to the LMPD that I saw last night. The ones that I could see on the live coverage showed a whole lot of restraint. Because it's their job to maintain the order, but in a roundabout way, they're the ones being protested. And so it's a very volatile situation. And I would hope better for all of us, everyone.
I am a supporter of First Amendment right. I'm a supporter of safe protest, but I'm not a supporter of violence. So I want you to protest. I understand your cause. I'm for you. But please don't let the violence and don't let the anger well up to a point that you're violent against another person, because now your message has become null and void.
Couple of things happened at early this morning. It would have been late last night Central Time, but about 12:30, Mayor Fisher released a video from the Taylor family that basically said, "Thank you for sharing her name, thank you for this, but let's not anyone get hurt. Let's go ahead and go on home."
Right.
And then a rain shower also came through downtown Louisville about that time, which kind of dispersed people and brought it to an end. But I fear that it wasn't just a one-night situation. I fear that we may be looking at that through the weekend, especially if the weather is favorable, if the weather is nice. But
Just
I-
peacefully.
yeah.
I'm support your protest.
Right.
I just peacefully. I don't, whatever you're protesting, just.
closer to home, one new case of COVID-19 in Grayson County, only 3 cases over the last 7 days. The Grayson County Health Department announced yesterday that 1 new case was confirmed over the previous 24-hour period. It's a 24-year-old female. According to the health department, that brings the Grayson County total to 133. And again, 3 cases over 7 days. I think you talked with Josh Embry last hour. He feeling positive about our situation right now?
He is, because 2 are in the detention center, so they're contained. They're not out on the street coming into contact with any more than what that's at the detention center. So there is free testing, more free testing expanded now at you can go to the Evil Empire, apparently, and have testing done for free. Now, here's the interesting part: people are being tested. They're saying that it's really intrusive.
Yeah, I've heard that from the beginning, that they get up in your thoughts.
Yeah, like they scrape out the frontal lobe. So
If you've never had a lobotomy, it might be as close to one as you'll get.
Not that
Open
some
your
of us shouldn't
business,
have
yeah.
one, but I'm just like, why is that when we're so afraid that we're going to our air, our breath is going to transmit it, but you got to take out my frontal lobe to. Anyway, sidebar.
Yeah.
You can get tested at Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center. Your first test, if you're asymptomatic, is free. If you come back and you're symptomatic, then your test would be free, but your first test is free.
Governor Beshear forcefully defended his virus-related actions yesterday, saying that the moves he made spared Kentucky from a more devastating outbreak, and now has the state primed to move ahead with business reopenings. He said his drastic and significant actions of recent months to contain the virus worked, putting Kentucky in a strong position going forward. I certainly can't argue with that. I can't disagree. I know there are a lot of people that want a Monday morning quarterback Governor Beshear's decisions. I think I'm on the record as saying it is easier to scare people into stopping to do something, like I like to call it to Lieutenant Dan people, get down, shut up, and just wait for things to pass. Where the challenges are, I think where the frustrations is the reverse of that. In priming things and preparing things to go the other direction, that's where it gets a little more delicate. But I do agree. If you look at Kentucky's numbers, especially concerning surrounding numbers and some of the things, Alabama's had 5,500 new cases this week. Kentucky's in a good spot, and it's going to be very hard to argue with where we stand right now. And there's a big price that's been paid. We've all sacrificed greatly to do it. And I don't want to just automatically surrender that and say, well, I don't want to be in a situation where we have to do that again. So, but
a perfect example is I stopped in at local Gordman's yesterday. Gordman's had just opened in March. We did our ribbon cutting with the chamber, and Goodies bought out Gordman's. So it was a new business for Litchfield. It's much like a Burke's or a TJ Maxx or a Ross. So it's the first time I got there yesterday, and there's already store closing signs. So I talked to the lady and said, is it just, you're all closing already? And she said, all Gordman's. They filed bankruptcy in April.
Stage stores.
Yeah, and she said the pandemic is the reason we're closing. She did say there was hope if they can find investors, then they will reverse their decision to stay. So we're all hoping they find those investors. But
not
that
likely.
is a direct result of pandemic closure. Gordman's is.
Yes, in an economy where brick and mortar was already having a hard time,
Yes.
this was the fatal blow to that. Governor Beshear reported 9 additional virus-related deaths yesterday. That brings us to 409. The age ranges were from 66 to 85. He reported 113 additional virus cases, increasing the statewide total to more than 9,180. So that was his report. I assume we'll get another one today. The state unemployment rate, the jobless rate, soared in the month of April. 15.4% was what was in April, and I assume we're going to see an even higher figure for May. There was some weird. Just look at that. Look at that left turn.
It's crazy.
We were when you see economic downturns, you hope for a V shape. It'll be like you go down quickly, and then this is not going to be. This is going to be. I don't know what that's going to look like when it's all said and done. But Marion County recorded the state's highest unemployment rate at 28.6%. Then Edmonson County was also among those with super high rates at 20.7%. I was trying to do some why Edmonson County compared to others. Metcalfe County was high on the list. Magoffin County was on the list. I'm not sure what puts people in a situation to be that high, but Marion County, for whatever reason, nearly 3 in 10 people filed for unemployment in the month of April. The coronavirus and its effect on Kentucky will be focus of at least 6 legislative committees when lawmakers gather for interim meetings next week. They'll be getting back to Frankfort to talk about some of the issues of the day. The committees meeting next week will be education, transportation, appropriations and revenue, agriculture, judiciary, and natural resources. So most of your heavy hitters will be in Frankfort next week trying to figure out a path forward. Kentucky plans to reopen and operate a privately owned prison in a strategy aimed at shifting inmates from overcrowded county jails. Governor Beshear says the state will lease the Floyd County facility from Tennessee-based Core Civic, but will operate it as a state prison housing male inmates. The 656-bed facility will be called Southeast State Correctional Complex. It last held inmates in 2012. The state government tried to get out of the private prison business for quite some time.
I kind of like it.
And, well, they've been reversing course, but now they don't have an option because of the overcrowding and needing to social distance and isolate people a little bit more. I will say there are some people who have been talking about the overcrowding and how important an issue that is, that when your loved ones get moved to this new facility, perhaps you're going to say, well, that was not the measure I was calling for in fighting overcrowding. So it'll be interesting to see how the state navigates that. The cost of insulin for Medicare recipients will be dropping significantly. The White House announced a pivot to pocketbook issues yesterday ahead of November's election. This is good news, right?
This
For
is
people
good
on
news.
Absolutely.
Medicare. What, $35?
$35 a month. You have to find a plan that covers it, but
Yes.
it is $35 a
But
month.
yeah, and that's a huge difference. Both of my grandparents, that's a big difference.
Western Kentucky University doesn't plan to change tuition rates for the first time in 40 years. Regents at the school down on the hill in Bowling Green said yesterday to keep tuition prices for the coming year the same as they were for the 2019-20 school year. The last time the tuition held flat was $79 and $80. President Tim Caboni said the coronavirus pandemic has had a negative financial impact on many students, and keeping tuition rates flat can help ease the burden. So here are the totals. Undergraduate tuition for a full-time residential student. So if you live on campus and you are a full-time student, your tuition is $5,401 per semester. Graduate students pay $607 per credit hour. The Regents have also waived the learning surcharge, the distance learning surcharge of $150 per credit hour.
That's nice.
For full-time students who enroll in online classes.
Yeah.
So that's not terrible. I mean,
Not terrible at all. Certainly will be, nice to know that they're flat year over year. The Grayson County Sheriff's Office is searching for a Grayson County man missing since Sunday. Sheriff's Office says 42-year-old Benjamin Vern Mayfield was last known to be at Evansville. And Sunday night about 6 o'clock, at that time, he was supposed to drive back to Grayson County, but has not been seen since. He stands 6'3", 195 pounds. You see a picture if you're watching online. You can read all the details at K105.com. A plane crash yesterday afternoon near Vine Grove left one person injured and about 8,000 people without power. The light aircraft crashed after clipping a power line. The plane came down in a field near a tree line not far from North Middle School. One person suffered minor injuries. A second person in the plane was uninjured. No one on the ground was hurt. KHSAA gave certainly young people and parents and coaching staff some good news yesterday that they will be able to return to athletics in a phased situation in the coming weeks. The first decision that the KHSAA made yesterday was to eliminate the scheduled dead period. Originally, they always have a dead period from the end of June to early in July. It's a couple of week period where everybody kind of calls timeout. It allows for family vacations and things. But with starting on June 15th, they didn't want to start. And then 10 days later, they take the dead period. They've had a dead period for nearly 90 days. So just take that. So they're going to start and keep moving and try to prepare lots of guidance on how to handle the situation, on when low contact sports can resume, et cetera. So you can read about that online. Chip McDaniel led from start to finish and captured the Unbridled Tour golf event yesterday at Boone's Trace National Golf Club. McDaniel fired a 5-under par 67 in the final round, won by 2 strokes over Dylan Meyer. Congratulations to him. And Kentucky and Notre Dame will meet this fall and begin a 3-year series. Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the Kentucky Wildcats will face off against one another. They haven't played. They played in the tournament a few years ago. They were also part of an exhibition at Freedom Hall back 10 years ago or so. But this year they will play in Rupp Arena. They will play at a neutral site next year, and then in the third year they will play at South Bend. So 3-year series between Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the Kentucky Wildcats. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got plenty more on the way here on In the Know.
If you're the average person, you only think about income taxes from January to April. But the choices you make 12 months a year have a big impact on your tax return preparation and even your refund. Making adjustments to your financial matters during tax filing season is like trying to lose weight during a routine doctor visit. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart work year-round to advise clients on important financial decisions so that during tax filing season, you're carrying a lot less stress and worry. Join the Peace of Mind team with Buckles, Travis & Hart, 270-259-5604 or GraysonCPAs.com.
St. Paul Catholic School is now taking registration for new students. St. Paul School is a growing faith-based Catholic Christian school with small classes that will allow us to open up on August 7th. The school offers self-contained kindergarten as well as preschool for 3 and 4-year-olds, serving Grayson and Western Hardin counties. Preschool registration is limited to 10 students. Be sure to register now with our reasonable tuition. We are now providing bus transportation to points around the county. Have you considered St. Paul School for your children? If so, call us at 270-242-7483. 270-242-7483.
We are St. Paul's School, and we want everyone to know that St. Paul's School is where we love to learn and grow.
YouTube is out with a new feature called Chapters that makes it easier to find specific parts of a video. Creators can use timestamps to break up a video in chapters, allowing users to jump to a particular section or rewatch a certain portion. The chapters show up at the bottom of the video player and pull timestamps from the video description. Video Chapters is an optional feature for creators to use. Google Maps is making it easier to share your location even if it doesn't have an address. The new Plus Codes feature generates a unique 6-digit code based on your location, which can be shared with others and used when you're located away from a traditional street address. Tinder is going to help you jumpstart a conversation with a potential mate. Dating platform out with prompts that lets you add a question or statement directly to your profile. Things like, what's your star sign? Do you like scary movies? Or do you have any nicknames? Could help spark up a romance. You can add prompts to your profile via your profile icon in the top right corner of the app. Tech Report, Larry Olson, and
You need cooling, baby. I'm not fooling. I'm gonna send ya back to schooling, way down inside.
Today is
Honey, you need
Paperclip Day today. Paperclips are very handy to have.
to give you my
I ended up with like 6 boxes of those recently.
Yeah.
Would you like one?
Sure, I'll take one. Sure. I mean, if you're just giving them away.
I love them.
Okay.
I may need to MacGyver something, so it'll be fine. It's also Biscuit Day today.
Oh,
Brought
Jesus
home,
made
Num
biscuits.
num.
brought home 2 bags of biscuits from the store yesterday. So
did?
Might have to find something to put on them this weekend.
Like, do you do like the frozen biscuits?
Yeah, I just do
too.
the
I like
Pillsbury
those.
Grands.
Yeah, me
They're
too.
pretty easy.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with Beej. I do like the canned flaky ones that you kind of peel off in those.
Good. Oh,
I like
so good.
those not with gravy though. I like those like as a dinner row.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna have gravy, I like the frozen ones. They're a little more dense.
But I just kind of like the nostalgia of the layered ones.
Oh, yeah.
that
I
you
just
can just
like
kind of
biscuits.
peel them off. But when I'm using, if you want a sandwich or you want to put some scrambled egg
Yep.
or a piece of sausage on there, I want those Grands.
Yep.
Like those big ones. It is also Learn About Composting Day today. Nope. I know everything I need to know about composting.
Yeah, and not interested.
I'm out on learning about composting. I already learned it.
When you were little. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't so little, but I was younger.
I remember the story.
Yeah. This week's By the Numbers, 77% of adults admit they buy gum or candy in the checkout line almost every time they go food shopping.
Not me.
70% of adults say they often grunt when getting up off the couch.
Me every time.
I do. Yeah.
25% of us say they take a shower at night rather than in the morning.
Me do.
6% of adults say they never eat eggs.
No, I have to on this diet.
31% of adults admit they haven't flossed in the last 6 months.
I do every morning.
30% of people fold their pizza before they eat it. That must mean 30% of people are from New York. That's how New Yorkers do it. They fold it in half and eat
Cut
it.
mine, but I don't fold it.
5% of drivers have a bobblehead on their dashboard. 5 in 100 drivers. That sounds a little high to me. 5%?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that you never see one, but 5% of drivers have a bobblehead.
Listen, some of y'all really think your car is a sticker album.
That's true.
That's become the trend lately. Stickers everywhere.
It has. Hostess, this is a sign that summer is here. Hostess is releasing a line of patriotic treats for summer like red, white, and blue Twinkies. You get red, white, and star-spangled ding-dongs. You get strawberry, what are those, donuts?
I can't even.
Star-spangled cupcakes. That looks very festive and patriotic to me.
I'll eat anything that says cake.
Not
Got
me.
it.
Nope.
Yeah, like it or not. Sadly, I'll eat it. It's good. I love Hostess stuff, especially cold. Like put your Hostess cakes in the refrigerator.
Many of
The
us
brownies.
Many of us are aware of some of the challenges that a coronavirus pandemic and some creates some of the products and services or businesses that cease to exist as a result of it. And interestingly enough, it's sort of, you think about it, you wouldn't necessarily automatically go, oh yeah, I understand. But champagne sales have gone flat as Americans aren't celebrating anything.
Yeah.
No
I thought about
weddings,
it.
no corporate meetings, no dinner parties, no champagne. No one's buying it.
Yeah,
like,
no
oh.
spas. No, is it mimosas made out of champagne
Yes.
and orange juice? Is that right?
That's right. Now, also sort of interestingly, sales of gum and mints are down amid social distancing. If you're not going to be around anyone,
Nobody to
Why
impress.
bother?
why bother with the mints or the gum?
yeah,
So
get it.
just like champagne, the sale of gum and mints are down amid social distancing.
Funny.
Japanese theme parks can reopen, but screaming is banned.
Oh,
The country's theme park operators have released new guidelines for reopenings. As Japan eases coronavirus restrictions, visitors will be asked to wear masks at all times and refrain from screaming, shouting, or cheering on rides.
I
Amen.
think somebody like her just has she's overtuned and they're capitalizing on the pandemic.
Maybe.
I love it.
It even goes a step further and says ghosts lurking in haunted houses should maintain a healthy distance from their victims.
Oh, well, I hope the ghost adhere to that.
The guidelines say conversations with guests should remain short and mascots should avoid high-fiving kids.
If you're wearing
I
a
love
mask,
it.
why can't you scream?
I will tell you that, yes, I wondered the same thing. If your face is covered, then what's the big deal about the screaming?
Right.
I will tell you over the last 24 to 36 hours, I am pretty close. I am pretty close to just saying, I think we're going to take 2020 off from Disney.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not for sure we can afford for you to do that because I don't think you've ever done that in your life, and I don't know what it's going to be like come December 31st for you.
So the news came out yesterday that all
dear.
fast passes, all experiences, all advanced dining reservations, all were going to be canceled while they migrate to their new system. And so then there will be a system in place for you to modify your reservations, et cetera, and get new ones. But considering the limitations and the limited park hours and all those things, it's just, for me, I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe we just need to let the world get back to, a little more normal to where it's
What's
an
left to
enjoyable
do?
experience.
What's left to do when you go to Disney? Other than just walk around and look at the park.
Well, they'll have attractions open and all those things, but the fact that you have to wear a mask and all that, and they are going to stagger, there'll be no park hopping, and they're staggering the opening hours of the park. So one starts at 8 and then the next one at 9 and 10. They're going to control crowds in and out. They're closing early at 7 o'clock. And so I just kind of look at it and go, based upon everything I know and see, why make that commitment of time and money if it's not going to be your typical experience that you enjoy?
I think the only way that a person would really enjoy it right now is if they were someone who loved the rides only, maybe teenagers. They're not looking for the dining experience or the characters.
Or the resort. I mean, the resort in
But did you find
itself
out?
is nice. I mean,
Yeah, the resorts will be open, but
Yeah. So
So-
I could say if I wanted to ride rides all day long, this is your time to go and really enjoy it.
I
Because the
think
crowds,
that
I think,
some
will be
people will
thin.
enjoy a lesser crowd
Yeah.
will be welcomed, but
Sure.
a lot of your park enjoyment comes after dark, and if they close at 7:00, then it's so. I'm just saying there's a lot still remaining to be known, but I say all that to bring me to the point that I did something yesterday that I wasn't sure I would ever do.
Should I guess first?
I'm afraid.
So a couple of weeks ago, we watched the movie RV.
Oh no! Oh no!
I need a life jacket and a helmet before he says this because I feel like
Right?
the earth is about to shake, mountains are about to spring up out of the ground, a sinkhole is coming.
If you've never seen the movie RV, Robin Williams
No.
decides his boss tells him basically that he can't take his family to Hawaii.
Right?
So, and he says you have to be at a meeting in Colorado in 4 days. So Robin Williams goes and rents an RV that's got Bill Engvall's picture on the side of it.
Please, Lord.
And so the entire, you meet Jeff Daniels, you meet, and so I thought yesterday, well, if you can't go to Disney World, where can you go? Mm-hmm. So I started thinking, well, train trip's been ruled out. I floated that idea. I was like, no, we're not going to go on a train
She
trip.
shot that down with a machine gun.
Right. So I thought, well, could you rent an RV? Like, can you rent one? And,
You can.
and if you can,
But can you drive
that
it?
was my next question. It's like, I thought, can I do
I know
this?
a guy who can teach you. He does one all the time.
Well, there might be lessons involved. Okay, I got it. But so I did a cursory search to see what renting an RV might look like or do. But then I see this headline today that says COVID camper sales surge before summer amid pandemic. So rates and prices on campers are skyrocketing.
Listen, you've been to Wigwam Village.
That's true.
Yeah, and we lived through it, but
But imagine doing that with a camper.
that was only like one night.
An RV. No, actually, I think you all would love it. I mean, you live so close to Nolan Lake.
Are you
we
sure?
absolutely love to
Oh.
camp. It is so peaceful. It is so quiet. It is
We're
so
not
nice.
really those people.
Our but you've never tried it. I think you would be.
Some
I love
RV
it.
dealers say sales are about triple what they were last year.
I think we could borrow one.
Well, we have a lot of employees in the building who like to camp. So
Yeah.
they're
Sure.
they're
And
on
I'm
the.
pretty sure.
I
we
think
could
you all should give it
borrow.
a try. Like
Oh.
you're gonna
Oh.
you're going to implode because you didn't go to Disney anyway. You might as well try the camping experience. And we'll go with you. We'll all go. It'll
But
be
you
a
know my
K105
rule.
camps.
You know my
K105
rule.
camps.
I only camp with a couple of very close friends.
But I will
And
pay
they all start
I
with
will
H.
pay Hilton on the side of your camper. Listen, I'm going to tell you something.
Old J.W. Marriott, Conrad Hilton, my only friends I want to camp with.
I know the Jean Beret has not impressed you. It is a 1987 Jewel, our camper. It is the hog that we live in. We live high on the hog when we go camping. Now, but there are campers that you would be, they're aerodynamic. I mean, it's like being inside of a NASA spaceship. Everything is hydraulic, everything, they're nicer than your homes.
Lots of buttons, are you saying? Lots of buttons to
Lots
push?
of buttons, TV, but listen,
Switches to flip?
Even in our 1987 camper, we have set up a television where we use the Grasshopper and we get our TV network.
Okay.
So we watch TV, we have, it's really, listen, our lakes are gorgeous. Okay, we're doing this. K105 camps.
I'm sorry. If I'm doing it, I'm going further than Nolan Lake.
I think you should start
Well,
there.
we
I
have
think you
so
should
many people that
teethe.
are in.
I think you
Dennis
should
Cook,
teethe on
Charlie.
Nolan Lake. And then that way, if things get bad in the middle of the night, she could walk home.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
I
I'm
would
just
be-
telling you, this is like training wheels on you all camping.
Listen, I have learned from the best because
See?
I know that the move when they didn't like Kristen Chenoweth and Jeff Daniels, the neighbors were annoying at the campsite, and they got up at 4:30 a.m. to pull up stakes to get away. But it finally caught up with them.
Yeah.
So just suffice to say, 2020 is the year of having to get creative and then also evaluate how far am I willing to go? What am I willing to do? So it's been weird. Can we agree it's been weird?
I mean, is
Super
weird the
weird.
word we're still going with?
So-
I think weird is
Odd.
too nice.
So someone, no,
Odd.
just everyone's acting weird. Everyone.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But so someone thinks that Misty should do more horse news.
Somebody messaged this morning and said, when does your horse news run? And I'm like, I'm banned from horse news.
Right. Apparently, I won't get into too much detail. But something happened to me earlier this week, and I thought this world has gone completely bizarro. I have from time to time over the years talked about I get emails when you have a political debate, statewide political debate. It's funny because I get emails from both sides as soon as they're over saying, we won.
Yes, it's always great to watch that come through.
Both parties come to me with their handout. Mm-hmm. Hey, need some money. Amy McGrath needs some money. Right. Good luck. So people say to me, how are you on the Democrats' mailing list? And I said, it's simple. No, they assume everyone in the media is on their side.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm. So on Tuesday of this week, I got an email from old Joe. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you see, if you're watching, you see there it is. Mm-hmm. So when I saw the subject, I thought, so they're doing some type of creative, like Stanley is their rallying cry.
Is this like Plumber Joe?
Yeah, Plumber Joe, something like this. Something happened on the Democratic presidential campaign, and Joe Biden, my guy is Stanley.
Okay.
And so he says, I'll never forget sacrifices my father made for my family, Stanley, et cetera. I thought, okay, I got it. And goes on to the second page. He asks for money. He only wanted $10.
Oh,
All right, so I declined on the $10.
really?
I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I thought, okay, fine, whatever. Then on Wednesday, I don't want to make you all jelly, but former President Obama, he sent me an email. But look who it's addressed to.
I can't see it.
Stanley. I am in the Democratic National Convention's database as Stanley.
I love
It says to Mark Buckles at the top in my email address, but they are addressing me as Stanley.
Yeah. You look like a Stanley.
Yeah, it's because your wife is a Democrat.
We're going to get to a break. We'll come back. Got plenty more on the way here on In the Know.
The summer season means the best produce from the finest producers is available at the Grayson County Farmers Market. Wednesdays and Saturdays from 6:30 to noon at the Indian Hill Shopping Center. We'll be using COVID-19 safety practices like wearing a mask and only one person per household may shop at a time. To review all our safety measures, visit GraysonEXT.org. Senior and WIC vouchers are accepted at the Grayson County Farmers Market Wednesdays and Saturdays from 6:30 to noon at the Indian Hill Shopping Center on Mill Street in Litchfield.
Expert care, high technology, hometown kindness. That's Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center. Here's Dr. Gregory Koo on integrative healthcare.
Integrative is basically you mix holistic medicine with modern medicine. I was the director of this holistic integrative center, but I did acupuncture, and I did that my entire career alongside of family medicine, and the results are just unbelievable.
To schedule an appointment with Dr. Koo, call 270-879-3711. Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center. Your home, your health.
Your health is important to you, so when you find yourself face to face with sickness, your main concern is simply how to feel better. Well, rest assured, your feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. It begins the moment you walk through our doors, where you're greeted by our friendly, knowledgeable staff, and continues on with special services like free delivery. So whether your goal is to maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember,
Your feel better starts here
at Midway Pharmacy.
It's a night of entertainment in a new way. This Saturday night at the Lincoln Jamboree in Hodgenville, Kentucky. The show will be held outside and will kick off at 8 p.m. with the young Johnny Cash Wyatt Miller, 16-year-old Hank Sr. impersonator Alex Miller, Jessica Merritt, fair and young sound-alike Joshua McMillan, along with Jay Henderson and all of Joel Ray's Jamboree gang. At 9:15, Jamboree favorites Classy and Grassy will take the outside stage. Classy and Grassy are 10 and 13 years old, and they dress and sound just like Flat and Scruggs. Parking can begin at 6 p.m., and there's a $10 suggested donation fee per person or $15 per carload. Social distancing will be enforced, and everyone must stay inside their car. In case of rain, the event will be postponed. And as you're leaving, be sure and visit the Sweet Shop mobile trailer. The show must go on, and it will, this Saturday night in a new way at Joel Ray Sproul's Lincoln Jamboree in historic Hodgenville. Wow, what an outside drive-in show.
Before the title professor, before the money funding my work, before my own research team, I grew up in a small town where people I knew struggled with substance use. Today, I work with Kentucky communities, full of potential but held back by the opioid crisis. I'm April Young. As a student, UK helped ignite my passion. Now, as a researcher, I am a force for healing as I reach for what is wildly possible. Find your possible at uky.edu.
Blake Stinson is the general manager at AutoSmart on South Main Street in Litchfield. Good morning, Blake. How are you?
I'm great. How about you guys?
We're doing very well. You happen to have an RV on the lot?
RV on the lot?
Yeah, you have an RV for sale on the lot?
Man, I wish I had room for an RV. I sure would have one.
Notice you got a couple of golf carts on your lot this week.
Absolutely, and I've got a lot of new nice inventory arriving should be this weekend.
Well, tell me about something that you're getting or that you have that we need to know about.
I'm pretty excited. I bought 4 yesterday. I've got a 16 Toyota RAV4 for $15,900 coming in. I've got a 2018 Camry for $13,900 is all, and then I've got a 2010 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 6-speed regular, two-door hardtop. So come check us out.
Inventory levels are coming back up, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Great weekend for a test drive. I hear the weather's going to be perfect. Should we stop and see you?
Absolutely. It doesn't cost anything to drive them.
270-287-0278. What's the website address?
It's Autosmart1.com.
We'll talk to you again real soon, Blake. That's Blake Stinson. He's the general manager at AutoSmart on South Main Street in Litchfield.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
We have gained some sunshine so far today, but it looks like the thunderstorm chance is still there this afternoon. Some heavier downpours possible in a few cases. High temperature of about 80 before the rain gets going here later on. Then tonight, clear skies develop rapidly and get ready for some refreshing air just in time for the weekend. Highs only in the 70s with plenty of sunshine. The Wade News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Brian Good.
Light the fuse and run now, brother, 'cause you ain't got a lot of time. Don't you act surprised when it all goes to hell on your dime.
Did you know Albert Einstein never wore socks?
I kind of like that, I think.
Me too.
Unless you got smelly feet.
Well, I think that would help with smelly feet,
Maybe
right?
he's,
Well, if you're wearing tennis shoes and you don't wear socks, that's gross.
you want to be careful about that.
I don't think they had
more
tennis
like
shoes
barefoot.
then.
3 movies that are still being released in theaters in the month of July. Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe. Also, Tenet. I don't know what that is.
Say Mulan. Say Mulan.
And Mulan.
Yes. I cannot wait for Mulan.
Comes to movie theaters July 24th, a live-action remake.
I know my girls are excited, and you are. I'm not. That
Here's
much.
why. It's nostalgic for us. It was the first movie that we ever took a child to see. Madison was
Oh,
2 and a
okay.
half. When it came out on VHS, we watched it every night. She knows every word to that movie, and it is her favorite. So
And-
when we went to Disney a couple years ago, she got to meet Mulan. It was a big deal. Like that's
I know
her,
that Tay
that's her
loves
favorite.
it, and Anna's a fan, and the small fry, she enjoys it.
It'd be
but-
interesting to see if it'd be interesting to see if people are so ready to get back to the movies. Disney has to float a trial balloon, and they're hoping that the love of Mulan from 20 years ago, and inspiring a generation of young women, young girls who are now young women, will then rush out to see the live action.
I got to tell you, if Eddie Murphy is not the grasshopper, I'm not for sure that Mulan's going to be the same.
I
Or
thought he
Cricket.
was the dragon.
Oh, right.
I thought he
is
was
the
Mushu.
dragon.
Yeah, Mushu.
Yes, Mushu
Right.
the dragon.
Yeah.
But then there's the little grasshopper, too.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're right.
Yeah,
There
you're
is.
right. You're right.
Netflix, June 2020. It appears that Netflix is showing symptoms or byproducts that there are now some other streaming games in town. I gave to you yesterday the new list on HBO Max between Disney Plus. Now all the Disney content's over on Disney Plus, and you've got Hulu, and you have HBO Max. Netflix starting to show the highlights of June: The Bad News Bears, Cape Fear, E.T., The Help, The Silence of the Lambs, Twister, West Side Story. That's about it.
That's all you got?
That's new to June for Netflix.
Could they
That's
just finish?
terrible.
Could they just do season 2 of some of these series they've got us hooked on? I've asked twice
Well-
now. I've been polite.
Maybe.
So I already have The Help recorded.
Yep.
Twister is like nightmares for me. Yeah, that's
NCIS is topping the list of the 10 most watched network shows. Bull was at 10. CBS does very well on this list, by the way. Bull at 10, The Good Doctor at 9, Chicago Med at 8, Chicago PD at 7, Young Sheldon at 6, This Is Us at 5, Chicago Fire at 4, Blue Bloods at 3, FBI at 2, and NCIS at number 1.
How many of those are CBS?
Numero uno.
I mean,
1, 2, 3,
I only watched 3 of those.
4, 5. 5 of the top 10 are CBS, and NCIS is the top of the list. Taylor Swift fans are mad at Burger King trying to cancel them after they tweeted a joke about the singer. Someone tweeted to Burger King and said, "What is your favorite Taylor Swift song?" And Burger King responded, "The one about her ex." And so now they're trying to say that Burger King was being snarky. No, it's true.
It's true. They're all about her exes.
And for one, if you didn't want to hear Burger King's answer, don't ask them.
him. Right.
And so I would just say I might go out of my way to find a flame grilled burger today.
I don't even like Burger King, and I'm going to stop in for a little something today.
That's right.
I love
The Boston Marathon in-person race is canceled and now will be going virtual for the first time in their history. Okay. And then this got me kind of excited. On HBO Max, Sesame Street inviting some of their friends to sing some of their classics. Let's see if I can. There it is. Here's Casey Musgrave
Digging that yellow dress.
singing Rubber Ducky.
Oh, nice.
Rubber ducky, you're the one.
Yep.
You make bath time lots of fun. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you.
Get it, Casey. We got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the week. You're on In the Know.
Rubber ducky, joy of joys. When I squeeze you, you make noise. Rubber ducky, you're my very best friend, it's true. Ooh, every day when I make my way to the tubby, I find a little fella who's cute and yellow and chubby.
We're all hoping for a quick end to this pandemic, but are you making the most of your extra time at home? Today I've got 3 simple ideas for you to consider doing before your schedule fills up again. First, eat together. I mean, really together, not while watching television. As often as you can, sit down and connect over a meal. Family dinners aren't about the food, they're about the connections that take place around the table. So don't feel pressured to fix a gourmet meal every night. The main thing is to look each other in the eyes and connect. The second idea is to look back. By that I mean reminisce a little. Pull out some old photos and videos. Tell your child stories about their childhood and yours. Family history connects your children to something beyond themselves and deepens their bond with you. Finally, look ahead. Crises have a way of resetting our priorities or giving us a new perspective on things. Is there something that you've wanted to do for years? A big goal you've put off? Well, maybe now is the time to go for it. And if you're going right back to what you were doing before, it's healthy to look forward. Start planning now for everything you hope to do once life opens up again. And I hope your family is safe and remains that way until this crisis is over. In the meantime, let's all make good use of the moments we're given. To help your family thrive, go to FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
If you have ever considered a faith-based Christian education for your child, St. Paul Catholic School is fully accredited and provides a great deal of individual attention for each student. In addition to a strong academic curriculum, every student, grade K through 8, takes Spanish, and grades 4 through 8 plays the piano. Our small classes will allow us to open up on time. Preschool registration for 3 and 4-year-olds is limited to 10 students. Be sure to register now. We are serving Grayson and Western Hardin counties. Call St. Paul School today at 270-242-7483. That's 270-242-7483.
St. Paul School, and we want everyone to know that St. Paul School is where we love to learn and grow.
Your choice of lifestyle directly affects your health. And while there are many complex factors surrounding your lifestyle, sometimes the simple truth is that you just need to feel better. Well, rest assured, your feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know you and your lifestyle so we can provide sound advice on ways to improve your overall health. So whether your goal is to maintain a healthy lifestyle or overcome that untimely sickness, remember,
Your feel better starts here.
at Midway Pharmacy.
This is Governor Andy Beshear. The coronavirus has affected every one of us differently. The good news is help is available right now. Whether it's food or healthcare, we're here and standing by you to get you what you need. Log on to benefine.ky.gov or call 1-855-306-8959. The process is quick, simple, and you'll soon have the assistance that you deserve. So don't wait. Go online or call today and let us help you.
If you're a student entering a community college or university, check this out. You can save money in college tuition by finishing your degree on time. Just earn 15 credit hours each semester or 30 a year. Do the math. The longer you stay, the more you pay for a college degree. Talk to your advisor and make a plan. Take 15 to finish on time. Get in, get out, get going. Visit knowhowtogoky.org.
This message is sponsored by knowhowtogoky.org.
I was born in Little Rock, had a childhood sweetheart. We were always hand in hand. I wore high-top shoes and shirt
MB's Point to Ponder for today. What is your favorite album of all time?
Oh gosh, that's hard. I do love Foreigner's Greatest Hits, Billy Squires. I mean, it's always a greatest hits.
Steve Miller Band.
Yeah.
I was going to say Steve Miller Band 74 to 78 is a really good one. It's a soundtrack. That's the one that came to mind second for me. But of course, hearing Stevie Wonder, I hate to not include songs in the Key of Life. Some of the other great Stevie Wonder albums.
My second would be, I guess, Aerosmith.
Aerosmith for me. Permanent Vacation is my favorite album of all time.
What's your favorite song on there?
Start to finish, Angel by Aerosmith.
Yeah, that's right. We said that. I don't like. That's not even the top 10 for me.
That is my favorite. That's what solidified my fandom of Aerosmith. They remain to be my favorite band, and so of where I was in life at the time, etc. And so that's why the album cover, everything all about it. I wouldn't say that it's the best rock and roll album of all time,
right?
But it's my favorite.
Yeah.
On television tonight, Haircut Night in America. On CBS, America's Best Hairstylist remotely guides celebrities, including Kelly Osbourne, Lindsey Vonn, and frontline healthcare workers through do-it-yourself color, cuts, and styles to tame their quarantine coiffs.
Okay. All right. I'm tuning in.
I don't blame you all, broadly, the royal you all of you that might want to watch. I would just I would counsel, I hope at the beginning of the program they put across the bottom, you may not want to try this at home.
Yeah, I have no desire to. I'm just going to hold out and wait.
Yeah, I think you'll see this though and go, oh, that's easy. I can do it. No, not necessarily. So just be careful. On HBO tomorrow, Lucy in the Sky. On Sunday,
Diamonds.
it's after an awe-inspiring experience in outer space, an astronaut returns to Earth and starts to lose touch with reality in a world that now seems too small. That might be right. Sunday, Celebrity Family Feud. It's Queer Eye OG versus Queer Eye, the new class. So they're taking the original guys from the series and the new guys from the reboot, and they're facing off one another on Celebrity Family Feud. The season 2 premiere of Press Your Luck on ABC. And on AMC, a premiere of a show called Quiz. A man attempts to cheat his way to victory on the UK version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with the help of a plant in the audience. He succeeded at first. Sounds kind of intriguing. Don't forget the SpaceX launch tomorrow afternoon. The Bristol race is Sunday afternoon. The Bristol Cup race is Sunday afternoon. The Xfinity race has been pushed back to Monday. Today's highlight in history, this day in 1988, President Reagan and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev opened their historic summit in Moscow. Patrick Henry denounced the Stamp Act, this date in 1765. John F. Kennedy, born this date in 1917. The Rosie the Riveter portrait appeared on the cover of the Saturday Evening Post this date in 1943.
How iconic did that become?
It's a symbol. I mean, to this day, it's a symbol.
Yeah, such a movement for women.
Birthdays today. Former racer and motorsports Hall of Famer Al Unser is 81 today. LaToya Jackson is 64. Melissa Etheridge is 59. Lisa Whelchel is 57. She played Blair on The Facts of Life. Laverne Cox is 48. And Carmelo Anthony is 36 today. Gone but not forgotten. Bob Hope in 1903. Stacy Keach Sr. in 1914. Bob Simon, CBS reporter, born this date in 1941. Let's find some chart toppers. Let's go to 1957. Marty Robbins was at the top of the charts.
Sport coat and a pink carnation. I'm all dressed up for the dance.
If that doesn't scream fashion, I don't know what does.
Me neither.
A white sport coat and a pink carnation. Sure. 1966. Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders. Groovy Kind of Love. I prefer Phil Collins' version.
Absolutely.
Me too.
So
Great
with that
song.
in mind,
Just not well done the first time. Yeah. The do-over was better.
got it right on the second go around. 1975 is the year. Earth, Wind and Fire #1 with Shining Star.
Fabulous video.
You like the live version?
I like the big band that they had.
Let's go to 1984. Denise Williams, #1 from the Footloose soundtrack. By the way, that's a good album.
It's a good
I mean,
album.
not just the title track, but Shalimar's Dancing in the Sheets. And then Let's Hear It for the Boy. And,
Footloose.
well, yeah, the title, right? Was there another one, though? There wasn't a Shaka Khan song on that. Was there a Shaka Khan song on the Footloose soundtrack?
No. I tell you, a great soundtrack is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It's my favorite
good one.
soundtrack.
Dazed and Confused is a good movie soundtrack.
Yeah.
Good album.
Cocktails is. I just downloaded Cocktails recently.
And it must have been at the right place, but it must have been at the wrong time. Let's go to 1993. 27 years ago today.
Wowza.
H-Town, #1 with Knockin' the Boots.
This is the year Jason and I started dating.
Yeah. Innuendo in songs has changed a lot over the 27 years. H-Town, kind of a one-hit wonder,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Probably one of my favorite sermons ever, and I can't remember the guy preaching it, but I was just listening along, and he said, "You can't be knocking the boots at night and praising the Lord on Sunday." I thought I would lose my mind.
Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 Miles, number one, 18 years ago today. Into
Who'd have found it? We listen to the dealership over and over again on our break.
So she's out in the middle of, out in the West, whatever. She probably took an RV to get out there.
Probably did.
I'd say she probably did. That's 2011, 9 years ago today. I just had an idea. Probably, if I'm going to rent an RV, I need to rent it out west. So go out west and drive it and see the places you want to see.
Yeah.
So that
rather
means
than
we
drive it all the way
fly?
out there.
Yeah. We fly to get there?
I don't know if I want to fly. I might rather drive a fast car out west and then get on an RV. I'm just saying.
You better find a stand-in bride.
Listen, there's just nothing about me.
You're gonna need a new wife.
Here's a pose. Here's a pose that I don't want to see me doing. Sawing
That's a man stand doing the big rig.
Sawing on a big wheel. Looking like you're in a fishbowl on the front of an RV.
Get it, Stanley.
I would.
It's
I'll
like
need a work
you
shirt.
know this is going to happen.
I will
right?
need.
I'm praying
I will
for
need
it.
a work shirt. I'll need a work shirt with a name patch on it that says Stanley to drive an RV.
I think I've got one. I love it.
MB's
I
Pearl
don't.
of Wisdom for
Can I
today.
go?
Don't look where you fell, but where you slipped. Don't look where you fell, but where you slipped. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Misty Thomas, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powered by Heritage Media of Kentucky, WKHG Litchfield, Kentucky, USA. 104.9 FM, the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105, your new